Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Dark Helmet Racing League GTD Season 7, race number 7. We're at Bathurst tonight, and a bit of drama on the mountain, both in the sprint and in the feature. So let's get into it, see what we got. Hopefully this doesn't take us too long. Let's get a better camera view. That looks perfect. And then let's just really move this forward. So this is on lap 1, so everyone's kind of approaching everything a little different than each other. But that does not look like contact there to start the Porsche going. Close, though. And if it was in real life, that would have made the car pretty unhappy as well. So you can just see, just as they get close, there is no movement of any bodywork or anything. So there was no contact. There's no 4X noted here on that one. It's this contact that the 4X is generated between those two. And that's a racing incident. I know there's a lot of stuff going on behind this. We'll get to that in a second. But this one, let's just watch Emmett save this. I don't know how he did, but he's facing the right direction now, so that works. So that one's going to be a racing incident between Thomas and Emmett. Extra points for Emmett for save. Same for Thomas, actually. That was for as sideways as they all got. For them to be facing the right direction right now is pretty cool. So this is the one that there's some chatter and apologies going on in the Discord as well as was in the actual race chat as well. Let's go cockpit here and see what the car behind, which was Rob, what he could do here. Not much, if anything. Like, he's coming through here. If we slow motion it, you can see there's smoke up in the distance. But at this point, everyone's just stopping. He can't even see that there's a car anywhere up here. So the fact that there's two Porsches in front of him and you can't still see either of them at this point tells you that's just a stack up. So again, racing incident from the stack up that was happening. That also took Greg with it. So let's also just watch the rejoin. I think Rob goes through the gravel here. I think it was fine though. So rejoin's fine with him, and Josh is probably going to be tail under the line anyways. Greg is a poor innocent victim in that one. Well, actually, everyone's an innocent victim in this one. Josh is now, the whole field's gone, so both Greg and Josh, nothing they could do there. Good rejoin. So that, Brandon Powell here. Also caught up in it. Ricky, he was on the brakes, man. Like, let's not do that in chat. It's my call. I see it. I'm calling it. It's not your call. It's my call. He braked. There's no huge checkup. If he stops, car behind him smokes him. Somebody at that point is getting smoked. So, my call. Part of the incident as well. That just compounded. So, still lap one, cold tires, no damage, no real big damage, no real big damage. I'm going to get through it, and then that takes the rear wing off it. That's frustrating. No action there, though. No action. No action on that. Thomas. Alright, so I love this one. Alright, so they're fighting in here. Let's roll it slowly forward. Car on the outside. Trying to make the move. So, when you're making a move on the outside, the person on the inside, like, it's still their corner to a certain extent. So you need to leave them room. Christian, I think that is that. Yeah, that's Christian. This one, I'm inclined to leave it as a racing incident. Let's turn on the racing line just to see some visual detail here. Where is that driving line? Here we go. So here we can see the racing line's on. So Christian left him enough room on the outside. They start arcing in, and with the move happening, try to move around the outside here. It's very hard to place blame on the car on the inside at this point of the corner. So I'm inclined to leave this one as a racing incident, especially with the way the line is. You can see Christian got to the line there, so and he never really deviated too far from the line, even though he had a tighter entry. Just the risk you take by passing on the outside. So I'm inclined to leave this one as a racing incident. Real hard corner to try to pass on the outside. Not impossible, just hard. Racing incident. Let's just make sure the rejoin here happens, which I'm sure it does. Awkward spot to be, though. Yep, and that's fine. Yeah, thanks for noticing. It's a hard incident. It's I don't know exactly how to, place blame one place or the other on that one. But racing incident, just good hard close racing. And unfortunately, when you do that, occasionally it comes up bad for one of you. No rear wing. Let's just make sure a rejoin makes sense here, because this is a dangerous part of the track to be. Good decision making to turn that way. All right. No action. Scary, but good decisions. Oh, do not lift there like that. Porsche will not like you when you do that. So annoying is I probably didn't even realize there was a giant cutout right behind him. That would have made life a lot easier for him. Oh well. I would have been doing the same thing, feeling that wall is right behind me. No action. And one on the last lap here. Did he already cross the line? We'll find out. Nope, he has not. That one hurt. And Caesar hasn't crossed the line either. Still with no rear wing. Trying to make this work. And another off track. And that's it. So that's all of our sprint. So no incidents yet again, which is great. That none of them really generated any incident points. Yes, there was incidents, but none of them generated any of the points for our series. Just pull up a few things here so I can document. So all right, let's see if we get as lucky in the future for instance here. A 4X straight away. I'm pretty sure the Aston Martin has one of the worst 4X predictors for any car, because we've seen this pretty consistently for the last few weeks, that an Aston Martin has a small touch like that, and that's a 4X. Like we saw it all the way back to even Sebring, if not farther. So that's nothing. And Rick's on the receiving end of that. What did Rick get his drive through for? Unfortunately, Rick ended up getting a drive through for 4X, and that was one of his 4Xs that he got during that race, which is really unfortunate. Similar to Brandon at Sebring, getting incident points for something that iRacing really needs to get on top of here. No action. James. Big hit. Action. Eric. No action. Ow. I don't know if you guys ever watched the GT3 stuff at Bathurst for the 24. Whenever they have one of these accidents in real life, you can tell it rings the bell of the driver. It's a concrete wall just straight in. Huge hit. Make sure this rejoin makes sense, which it's a horrible part of the track to do an Austin Powers motion, but it is what it is, and nobody else got involved in that, so no action. Oh, target fixation there a little bit. No action. No action. Which? Good job, everyone avoiding that one. Good rejoin. Driving with damage. This car is now evil. Ow. Got it straightened. Probably another spin here with no rear downforce anymore. Yeah. Car is super nervous. Action. Thomas. Yep, that one hurts. Greg. Same thing. So let's just back this up. It looks like might have been a. I don't exactly know what it gave Greg a 2x for. It's nothing there. Todd. Todd, I thought the whole entire time when I saw you on track that this was Rexy. Nope, it's a Grinch paint. Speaking of this, after our Enduro week, and that gives us the 20th or something like that, the following Sunday, start making paints, because we're going to be running Christmas liveries. I haven't fully figured out the event we're doing, but let's just leave it at GT3s for now. But get your Christmas liveries ready, be it an ugly Christmas sweater or anything like that. We'll run those that week because that's our last Sunday before we hit Christmas or the holiday break. That's somebody that's a little frustrated now. Probably cold tires at that point too. Yeah, this is Rick's other next 4X. That's a 4X incident. Yes, contact was severe enough, but there was no outcome to the contact. So this is no action here as well, which gives Rick 8 of his incident points for 4Xs here, which sucks because none of them were actually like, hey, somebody took somebody out. So far, unfortunate for him. Don't know how the last one goes, but we'll see. Looks like it's a 1 to 4X, so even worse. It might be even more hard to follow. That is not a great camera. No action. There's a Rexy paint. Again. And towed. Just keep watching this for the rejoin. Keep watching. Good job just staying predictable, but probably one of the worst spots to put your car, unfortunately. And to be honest, should have towed at this point. If you're just gonna sit here on a blind part of the track, waiting for everyone to go by, everyone's done a great job avoiding it, but yeah, that one's got to be something. So let's pull up message here, and that's driver number 42. Now, it's not a unsafe rejoin because it's definitely unsafe, but is it improper rejoin? Yes, it is. Is it a dangerous rejoin? Yes, it is. But with the ability to tow that he had, yeah, it's gonna be dangerous. So that's gonna be 5 points, just because of where you left the car. Yes, you're being predictable. Yes, you're trying to allow people to get around you, but it's not a great part to leave the car. You gotta take a tow if you need to, and that was a ideal case of you need to take a tow. You were sat there for over 30 seconds on racing line on a blind section of the track. We'll leave it at that one. This is a continuation of the same incident, which is this one. So it's going to be just noted because it's all the same. I think this one's the same. So total over 1 minute in the same area of the track, because that's another one there. So noted for that one. Ryan Fry. Hey, we got something to look at. All right. Let's just go see the whole situation. So I think that's Greg on the inside of Ryan here. Ryan squeezing him a little bit, but being predictable. He's staying straight. He's not weaving around. In fact, now he's opening up a little bit because he realizes that Greg's got a nose there a little bit. He's trying to open the corner a little bit. Greg's still making the move. There has been overlap at the braking point and everything. So if we go back to here, there's overlap as they go into the braking zone. Now, Greg brakes fractionally earlier, but then bleeds off the brakes a little bit. And Ryan stays the same braking, but then turns towards apex. Greg was going to get to apex. Greg stayed at apex, made apex. So with our rules the way we have them for overlap, from turn-in to apex, drivers entering the turn into apex determined by the leading car turning in to the corner, drivers are to maintain control and avoid contact. If overlap is achieved prior to turn-in, both drivers must give one car width to the track edge. If the overlap is achieved after the turn-in, the driver initiating the overlap will be required to be in control and make the apex successfully. So that's what happened here. The driver made the apex successfully. Overlap was the whole entire time. And I believe we need to watch this a little bit further. But in this situation, the contact's on Ryan here. So I think Greg gives back the position. Yeah, Greg gives back the position. And off they go again. But this contact isn't on Greg. This contact is just on Ryan. Yes, it's not a whole lot of overlap. In other series, they say more of the car needs to be alongside, things like that. But we're here because we're not pros. We're a bunch of people just having fun, and mistakes happen. So we say, if you have overlap of any type, once you commit to that turn in, if overlap's already been there, we need to give room to each other. So in this case, with the contact the way it is, it's on Ryan. He doesn't leave that one car width to the white line on the inside of the corner there, so we're going to call this one on Ryan. I'm going to go avoidable contact minor for Ryan here. It's not on Greg. Situation did kind of stabilize again. They went back racing, resituated the stuff, but all it would have done was they would have fought all the way to the next corner in the reality if they would have given space to each other. So big winner here, Brandon Powell, which I hope he's on the same lap. So let's call that one. Message driver 616. Avoidable contact minor. And the avoidable contact minor is driver being passed fails to leave one car width, which is Ryan here, to track edge, resulting in contact without loss of control, only minor damage, but maintains position due to contact, or the passing driver is forced off track. So with the redress, he actually gained the position back. So I'm keeping this one the way it is. 1 point. Okay. Makes that one noted. Porsche taking its hate out on Josh there. Oh, full commit and ouch. Lots of stuff happening right at the end here. Good save after a little help from the wall. Another bounce off the wall. Flip the inside wall and the outside wall. Ah. That was Michael Schwartz. Oh, and that's what gives the drive-through. Oh, no. Similar to Sebring. Just unfortunate stack of events for Rick here. Trying to avoid this incident and gets another 4X, which causes him to get a drive-through. So this, we have Thomas clips the inside wall, bounces in the outside wall, and then Michael tries to get by, does a little bit of contact there, but again, there's nothing you can do to really avoid this. Car spinning in front of you. Gets going, but just that little contact there and spins him even further. He almost got away with it. And then that left him in the middle of the area for everyone else to pile into. And lots of damage. This is all racing incident. Nothing he could do there. Flipped, spins off that one, tries to get it stopped. It's that one. I'm not going to do anything with that. That's racing incident. And then Greg somewhere else on the track here. Bounces off the wall. He's a little bit farther down. No action on that one. And this is Rick getting his drive through last 4X. So he's trying so hard to avoid this. And he almost gets it, but unfortunate for Rick. Very unfortunate. No action. Bill. Outside wall tap? Yep. And that's it. So, only two. And they're one's unsafe rejoin or dangerous rejoin. So, try to tow if you're in that situation next time. And the other one is a very minor racing incident that did result in loss of position. So, leave it at that. And that's it for tonight. Next week, we are at... where are we next week? Schedule. We are at Watkins Glen with the standing start. And on Tuesday, we are at Donington if you want to join us in the MX5s. Thanks, everyone.